So I got a couple of my constituents. One wrote to me that over 20 years ago, he's been in the business over 20 years, and he had to get out of the business because of lack of training with new drivers over the past decade. He said, "I'm scared to be on the road any longer." Another constituent, a fleet manager, wrote to me, said, "I'm a second-generation business owner. I'm not only concerned for my family's future, but all the families within Windsor, Essex, that we and other law-abiding carriers in our community employ. These are professional truck drivers who are scared to be on the road and are scared for their family's safety." I'm wondering if you could speak to how the Driver Inc. model puts compliant truck driving businesses at a severe disadvantage, and in turn have put Canadians at risk on the roads, including my constituents, who are professional truck drivers that are scared to be on the road. Specifically, what are the numbers and how are compliant truck driving businesses at a disadvantage?
Well, compliant truck drivers are at a disadvantage because of costs. They pay their wages, they pay benefits, and they remit income taxes to government. So the difference between a Driver Inc. company and what I call a legitimate company is about $45,000, and I think you'll find that in my report. I've outlined that and how I arrived at the numbers. That's a big number. It's a huge number. In the meantime, the legitimate guys spend more time training because they're responsible. And versus the other people who bring a driver in, they put them in a truck, they get through a minimum amount of training, as we've heard in HR people the other day. And if you have a minimal amount of training in a big rig, you're dangerous. You can't help but be dangerous. And it takes a lot of emphasis to drive a big rig. I came from a farm, and I appreciate what's happened. And what I did back then was another story. But you understand the differences between people who are trained and the people who are untrained, and then they're out on the road and they have to respond. And there's a big difference.
Thank you so much.